Welcome to momedaram. So far, we have seen list interface and its implementation classes. From there, we understand how to add elements to the collection object and how to remove elements from the collection object and how to modify the objects to the collection object. In this video, we will see how to retrieve the elements from collections. To retrieve the elements from collections, there are four ways are there. That is Enumeration Interface, Iterator Interface, ListIterator Interface, ForEach Loop. By using these four ways, we can able to retrieve the elements from collection objects. First one is Enumeration Interface. We can use enumeration to get objects one by one from the legacy collection objects. That legacy collection objects is nothing but vector, hash table, stack. These three are the classes which are introduced in 1.0 version. So we are calling this vector and hash table and stack are legacy collection objects or legacy collection classes. We can create enumeration object by using elements method. We can create enumeration object by using elements method. This element method will be available in the legacy collection classes itself. That is, elements method will be available in vector class, in hash table, in stack class also. This elements method is there. Now see, vector v is equals to new vector. So we have a vector object. By using vector object in the vector class elements method, we can able to create the enumeration object. So enumeration is equals to v dot elements. So this elements method is available in the vector class. In the same way, this stack s is equals to new stack. In the stack class also we are having elements method. In the hash table also we have elements method. By using the elements method, we can able to create the enumeration object. So if you see the internal implementation of this vector class, we are having one method of elements of type enumeration. So here it is having two methods, that is has more elements and next element. This enumeration returns an enumeration of the components of this vector. The returned enumeration object will be generate at all items in the vector. What it will do? It will generate the enumeration object for all the items. The first item generated is the index at 0. So the first element will be index 0 and the next item will be index 1 and so on. So this enumeration interface has two methods, that is has more elements and the next element. Has more elements. What this has more element will do? This method tests if the enumeration has any more elements or not. What it will do? It will check whether element is there or not, any elements are there or not. If it is there, it will return true. The next method is next element method. This method, what it will do? This method returns the next element that is available in the enumeration. Here the has more elements and the next element, these methods have some lengthy names because they are coming from older versions. That is the reason they are having some lengthy names. So if you see in this example, we have created a vector object v is equals to get vector. So in this vector object we have added some list of strings. So we are creating a vector object. So if you see here, vector of type string, this type of representation is called as generics. As we know, collection objects allows heterogeneous data, that is it will allows a different type of data. If we want to allow only one type of data in the collection object, that time we will specify the what type of data we want. For after the class name, by using these two brackets, we will specify what type of data we want. So vector of type string, so this vector will allow string data. It will a different type of data it will not allow. In this case it will allow string only. If you want to allow integer data, that time vector of integer. If you want to boolean, vector of boolean. So collections allows only objects. So when you are specifying after the class name, we have to provide objects only, that is wrapper classes, and any user defined classes we can specify. So here what we are doing, we have created a vector object with the elements January to December. So we are printing that one. So if you see here, we are printing that vector January, February, March. It has all the elements. Then what we are doing, we are creating a enumeration object by using that vector object v dot elements of. Now we are using while loop to iterate this one. E dot has more elements method. What it will do, it will start from the first index position. So index 0 index is there, first index is nothing but 0 index, right? So it will start from the 0th index. So it will check whether element is there or not. If it is there, element is there, then what we are doing, e dot next element. So if element is there, that time it will return that element. First time it will, from where it will start, from 0th index. So it will check in the 0th index, elements are there, yes, element is there, it will return that element, and this and it will point to the next index. So again this e dot has more elements, it will point to the first index, and it will check whether element is there or not. If element is there, then we are printing that element. So it will continue the loop until, based on the how many elements are there, that many times the loop will be executed, and we are printing that values. So in our case January to December we are able to iterate. So if you see in this example, we have created a vector of type integer, and we are added some values 1 to 10, and we are getting that vector object, and we are creating the enumeration object by using elements method, and we are iterating using has more element. So has more elements, after that we are getting e dot next element, we are getting the next element. Here we are checking, or we are printing the even numbers. So when you print this one, 2 4 6 8 10 we have printed. So we understand that by using enumeration method we can able to iterate or traverse the legacy classes. Here what we are doing, just we are reading the data, just we are reading the objects one by one we are doing. The next way is iterator interface. We can use iterator to get objects one by one from any collection object. In the earlier case we have seen enumeration. This enumeration is applicable only for legacy classes like vector, stack or hash table. But we can use this iterator interface to get objects one by one from any collection object. We can use for any type of collection object. We can apply iterator concept for any collection object. So we can call this one as universal cursor. So iterator interface we can call as universal cursor. We can create iterator object by using iterator method. In the earlier case, how we have created the enumeration object? By using elements method. In the iterator interface, how we can able to create that iterator interface object? By using iterator method. In every collection class, this iterator method will be available. So if you see here, ArrayList AL is equals to new ArrayList of iterator is equal to AL dot iterator. So this iterator method is already available in the ArrayList class. This iterator method is available in the linked list class. This iterator method is available in the vector also. In other hash table, hash set, all collection classes, this iterator will be available. So how we will create iterator object? By using iterator method. So this is the internal implementation of iterator interface. If you see here, it is having three methods, that is has next method and remove method. Here has next is similar to the has more elements. Has more elements, it is legacy method, right? It is legacy class method, that is the reason it is having lengthy name. Here has next is there, right? This is new generation methods. We can say as like it's not legacy, so they have shortcutted the names. Has next method, what it will do? It will returns true if the iteration has more elements. If it has more elements, then it will return true. This next method, what it will do? It will return the next element in the iteration. And the next method is remove method. This remove method, what it will do? By using remove method, we can able to remove the element which is returned by the next object. By using iterator, we can able to perform read operation as well as remove operation also. If you see in this example, we have created array list object, array list of integer al is equals to get array list. What we are doing here, we have added some values 1 to 10 we have added for this array list object. We are creating iterator object here. How we are creating? Iterator is equals to al dot iterator. By using iterator method, we are creating the iterator object. And here we are using while iterator dot has next. This iterator dot has next, what it will do? This iterator object will start from the 0th index. So in the 0th index, what it will do? It will check whether element is there or not. Has next element is there or not, it will check. If it is there, it will go inside. And next iterator dot next method. This method will return the value, and it will points to the, and it will increase the index position to the +1. And this has next will and this has next method will point to start from the first index. It will check value is there or not. If it is there, then it will come inside. By using has next and next method, we can able to iterate the any collection object. In this example, what we are doing, we are iterating through this array list and we are checking the object's data. If the object has a odd number, then I am removing that object odd numbers. So if I percentage 2 not equal to 0 means that will be odd number, so I am removing that. In the last, what we are printing here, we are printing this array list object. So if you see, first time we are printing array list object, it is have all numbers. On the second statement we are printing, it is giving only even numbers. So based on this example, we understand that by using iterator, we can able to iterate as well as we can able to remove the objects also. The next way of iterating elements from the collection object is by using ListIterator interface. This ListIterator is the child interface of Iterator interface. By using ListIterator, we can iterate either to the forward direction or to the backward direction. It is a bidirectional cursor. In the earlier case, we have seen enumeration and iterator. By using enumeration and iterator, we can able to traverse from forward direction only, that is from left to right only. We cannot able to traverse reversely, but by using this list iterator, we can able to traverse from both directions. So we can call this cursor as bidirectional cursor. While iterating using list iterator, we can perform replacement and addition of new objects in addition to read and remove operations. By using iterator interface, what we can able to do? We can able to read as well as we can able to remove the objects also. But by using this list interface, along with that means we can able to perform read operation, we can able to perform remove operation, we can able to perform replacement operation, we can able to perform addition operation. Addition operation means we can able to add the elements also. We can create list iterator object by using list iterator method. Enumeration elements method, iterator method, list iterator by using list iterator method. So if you see array list al is equals to new array list of list iterator l is equals to al dot list iterator. Linked list ll is equals to new linked list of ll dot list iterator. Vector v is equals to new vector, and we are creating list iterator by using list iterator method. This list iterator interface is applicable only for list interface and its implementation classes only. We cannot able to use this list iterator for any other implementation classes. So this list iterator is applicable only for list and its implementation classes. If you see the internal implementation of this list iterator, so this list iterator extending the iterator interface. So this list iterator is a sub interface of iterator. And this list iterator has 9 methods. The first method is has next method. This method returns true if the list iterator has more elements when we are traversing from forward, that is when we are traversing from left to right. So has next method is similar to the has next method in the iterator. Here also it will perform the same operation. The next method is next. This next method returns the next element in the list and advances the cursor position. So this next method returns the next element and it will increases the cursor position, so that in the next iteration has next method start pointing from the next cursor position. And has previous, this method returns the true if the list iterator has more elements when we are traversing from reverse, that is from backward direction. So if any element previous element is there, that time this has previous will be written true. And previous method, by using previous method we can able to retrieve the previous element. Next index method, this method returns the index of the element that would be returned by the next method. The whatever the value next method returns, when you apply next index method, it will return the next index position of the element. Previous index, this previous index is used to return the previous element index position it will return. So by using these 6 methods we can able to traverse forward and backward. And the next method is remove method. So if you want to remove the object, that time we will use remove method. Set method, this method what it will do, it will replace the latest element returned by the next method. So whatever the value next method returns, if you want to replace that value, if you want to replace that object, that time we will use a set method. By using add method we can able to add the element. This add method what it will do, inserts the specified element into the list. So this list iterator has 9 methods, that is has next and next and next index, has previous and previous index, remove, set and add methods. So if you see in this example, ArrayList we have created ArrayList AL is equals to get ArrayList. Here we are adding ArrayList of maths, electronics, computer science, English and Telugu. Here we have added 5 string objects. Now the question is, how we will get to know how this program will understand it needs to iterate from forward direction or backward direction. That is how it will get to know from which position it needs to start iterating, whether it needs to iterate from forward direction or backward direction. How we will get to know means by using the argument in the list iterator method. So here we have created ArrayList AL is equals to get ArrayList. So we are getting some elements and we are printing. So here maths, electronics, computer science, English, Telugu, it is printed. Next what we are doing, we are creating the list iterator object by using ArrayList.listIterator. If you are not provide any value, by default it will take 0 as the starting position. So this iterator will start pointing from 0th index. So when you use iterator.hasNext, it will point to the 0th index, and the iterator.next method what it will do, it will return the 0th index element. And here what we are doing, we are checking that whatever the value with the maths or not. If it is matches to the maths, what we are doing, we are replacing the value. So if you see here iterator.set, what we are doing, arithmetics, what we are doing, we are replacing the maths value from to arithmetics. So in our case, first what is happening, maths is there. So first it is points to the maths, right, it is matches. So we are changing the value from maths to arithmetics. So when you print in the last, what we are able to see, the maths value is replaced to the arithmetics, and the next value will be electronics. Here we are not doing anything, here we are not performing any operation if it matches to electronics. So here electronics object is printed. In the third iteration, what it will happen, it is computer science. Here it matches computer science. What we are doing, we are adding the Java element. So in the computer science, followed by Java element is added. In the next iterator, English is there. if we are having English, we are removing that element. In the next iteration Telugu is there, we are not performing any operation if it matches, so Telugu is added. Now the question is, here generally add method, what it will do, it will add the element at the last of the list. If you add element at last in the list, or it will add at the end of the list. But here this iterator method, what it is doing, it is adding the element next to the current element. So here iterator.add, what it we are doing, we are doing forward direction, that is left hand side to right hand side we are iterating. So it is adding next to that current element. So in this example we have performed iteration, we are performing iteration using has next and next element, and we are able to update the value also, and we are able to add the new element also, and we are able to remove the values also. If you see in this example, we have created ArrayList same elements, and we are using creating ListIterator by using ListIterator method of, we are providing al.size. So what is this one? By using this method, this iterator starts from index value. Which index value it is? al.size. This al.size is size, what it will return? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements are there, right? This iterator will points from 5th index. So here what it will do, iterator dot has previous element is there or not, it will check. Yes, element is there, and we are retrieving the previous element. So again here it will check the same conditions, based on that it will perform the actions. So by using ListIterator we can able to perform forward and backward iterations. If you observe one point here, this Java is added before the computer science. In the earlier case, what will happen? The Java is added after the science, computer science, because we are performing this add method is, it is added the next to the current element, because we are doing forward iteration. But here this computer science, here this Java is added before the computer science, because we are doing iteration from reverse direction, that is backward direction. So by using this add method, what it will perform, it is adding the element before the current element. So by using ListIterator we can able to perform iterations in the both directions, and we can able to add a new element, update the existing object, or we can able to remove the objects also. In this example, if you see, we have ArrayList and it is having elements 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, up 90, 100, 70, 80 is there. What we are doing, we have created a ListIterator object, and we are performing has next and next. In this, the next method, what it will return, it will return the 10 value. So what we are doing, we are applying NextIndex method. According to the NextIndex method definition, it should return the index of the next element, right? The current element is 10, this current element 10th index position is 0, so this next element should return 1. So here it is returning the next index is 1. 20 is the index value is 1, the next index should return the next index position, so it is returning the next second. So if you see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so in this ArrayList object from 0 to 9 is there. In the last element 80th element is 80 element is there, right? It is index is, current index is 9, so when you apply next index it is giving 10. So by using next index we can able to print the, or we can able to get the next index value. In this example, if you see, we have used the same example, but we are iterating from the backward direction. So if you apply previous index, what it is giving? It is giving the before previous index. So in for our case, what will happen? First element, what it will be happen? We are iterating from backward direction, right? So first element will be 80 will be there. So before 80, what is the index position? 70 element index position is 8, 7, 6 and so on, it will return. By using next index we can able to retrieve the next index position of the element, and by using previous index we can able to retrieve the previous index of the current element. And the next way of iterating the collection object is ForEach loop. This for each loop works similar to the for loop. This for each loop is introduced in 1.5 version. We can call this for each loop as enhanced for loop. So they have introduced this enhanced for loop to iterate the arrays and collection objects. So if you see in this example, we have created array list AL is equals to, we have added maths, electronics, computer science, we have added as English, Telugu, so some elements we have added. Here we are having for each loop. For each of first argument is string and the element. Here the collection object. This for loop, this is single statement will take care about the comparison, or the condition and the auto increment, it will be taken care. This for loop will be executed how many iterations based on the number of elements available in the collection object or array. So here we are having 5 objects, so this for loop will be executed 5 times. So what we are doing, we are iterating the each element and we are printing the each object. So for here what it is giving, first we have added maths, electronics, computer science, English, Telugu we have added, right? By using this for loop we are able to iterate the each element. By using this enhanced for loop, we cannot able to modify the array list objects, that is we cannot able to add or remove the elements. While iterating the collection object using for each or enhanced loop, we cannot able to perform any modifications. If you try to add any element or remove element while iterating the collection object using for enhanced for loop, it will give concurrent modification exception. But while iterating this collection objects using enhanced for loop, we can able to modify the data, but we cannot able to change the size of the collection object. So these are all the 4 ways we can able to iterate the collection objects, that is enumeration, iterator, list iterator and for each loop. This is all about this video. Thanks for watching.